My name is Tamara Kersey, Tamara Kersey hyphen Brown, Brown, Greensboro, North Carolina, July 14th, 1975. When I was in grade school, I lived in Barbados for a little while. But primarily, I spent a lot of my time, most of my childhood in Greensboro. So my mother is native, we say Bayesian, and she was actually born in 1938. Not until I got older that I realized that someone who was born in 1938 had the foresight to send my sister and I to Barbados to learn our culture. So we lived there for like a year and a half. We went to the schools, got to meet all of our family. Traditionally, I would not have been able to grow with my maternal side of the family, so she wanted us to learn our culture. When I was growing up in Barbados, and I believe that is what gives me so much confidence, it gives me so much pride in my Blackness, I'll say. There were the prime minister was Black, the people on the money were Black, government officials, police officers, nurses, everyone was my same color. And then the American side of my family, and as I got older, I would kind of hear my mom recount these stories to friends. And my American side of the family would call my mom a foreign Black bitch. I don't know what the impetus for that was. I don't know why those things were. It's the whole point of coming to the United States is to make a better life for yourself. And she wanted her children to have a better life than she had. So now I'm going to bring race into the conversation because it was as a young child that I would know that my mom was being treated differently, even though her skin was darker than most of the family on the American side. So she talked with a very thick West Indian accent. So my biggest exposure um, to any kind of discrimination, racial discrimination, was within my own family because my mom was not native. She was not an American. The other side to that, I also grew up at Seven Day Adventist, which was a private school. In that private school, I learned a lot about Black history. The principal was Black, all of the teachers were Black, and we learned about Sojourner Truth, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Carter Woodson. Our classrooms were aligned with our history. So I understood racial tensions in the United States, and I understood the narrative of the racial tensions because we were taught that in my Seven Day Adventist school. But in the Seven Day Adventist school, you got paddled back then. So when my parents said, "Do you want to go to private school next year, or do you want to go to public school?" I was like, "I want to go to public school." My first day of school, my mom is dropping me off, and I look up and I see this. I don't remember what her hair color was, but she was blue-eyed white lady. It's going to be my teacher. I look at the classroom, and there's a mix, but it's predominantly white. My mom and I, at this point, I cannot remember what the emotion was, but I think I was like dead inside, like dead weight. I'm shocked because I have not been in this coexisting place before. My mom reaches down to hug me, and I hug her back and I lock my arms around her neck. And when she stands up from hugging me, my feet are swinging because I am locked around her neck because I do not want her to leave me in this space that I have never been in before. I don't know these people. I know that white people are mean. I understand the racial tensions. You're going to leave me here with these white people by myself. It's not enough Black adults here because I just came from Seven Day Adventist where the principals, the teachers, and everybody else were Black. And I bawled, like I was sobbing. And I could tell in my mom's face she did not want to leave me. Like she was ready to take me out of there. And the teacher had to calm my mom that said she'll be okay. And she ushers me to my little seat and I'm sobbing. And the kids, and this is like what tells you that children learn hatred and they learn kind of like some of the discriminatory things that they would say. Because all of the kids, all colors, they came to my desk, patted me on my back, and they kept saying, "It will be okay. You will be all right." And they just, until I calmed down, they just really comforted and consoled me in that moment. Um, so those are some of the vivid memories that I have of my childhood, and the distinction of the first time I really experienced any kind of discrimination was within my own family, where here I am as an 8-year-old going to third grade, and the people who in the history books have been kind of egregious, had this egregious behavior, are the people who consoled me in my first experience of coexisting with first year of high school. The school newspaper had an article where there was an African American guy with an afro, a chicken leg in one hand, watermelon in the other hand. We protested that there was a teacher who was supposed to be the editor at large that would allow this kind of printing to be made, understanding that stereotypes perpetuate this ideology about what Black people can achieve all day. And we did a sit in. It made the headlines of the Greensboro News. So my first year, that was kind of like the most memorable thing of me getting involved and trying to take a stand and using my voice for change. So I always gravitated to people who were seen as disenfranchised, those who maybe had disabilities, those, again, gay friends that I had, and still have some of those relationships today. Becoming more visible of my support. And what I found that has done, there are more predominantly white churches that are more supportive of the gay community than Black churches. So what that has done to me is that I've been ostracized from certain Black churches, or I have been ridiculed because I do support the gay community. And I may not have that close of a relationship with some of those churches because of what I support. And I don't know how you can say you love God and use the word hate. You are saying that you hate that person. You have to be very careful of how you embrace people's humanity, one of God's creations.